5 kids are competing in the state championship basketball game. They're down by 1 point when Lenny gets the ball and makes the game-winning basket. The coach takes the team and the families to dinner to celebrate their victory. He ends his speech by telling them to stay together forever. 30 years go by and Lenny is a big Hollywood agent. He tries to spend quality time with his kids, but gives up when he realizes how spoiled they are. A car crashes outside his house and he runs out to see his young daughter was behind the wheel. She tells him that his coach passed away and that she was trying to find heaven for him on the navigation system so that he can go see him. The other members of the team also receive the call. Eric and Kurt are both family men who love spending time with their kids. Marcus and Rob are both free-spirited and enjoy their eccentric lifestyles. They all grow up and stay in close contact with each other. They meet up at the funeral, and everybody shows how close they are by making fun of each other's looks. As people take their seats, Eric's wife thanks Lenny and his wife for renting out a lake house for them and the other friends to stay at after the funeral. Lenny's wife is visibly upset he didn't tell her, and the ceremony starts. The pastor invites Lenny to come up and say a few words. He says a meaningful eulogy and ends it by joking about Eric's weight. After the funeral, the friends and their families head over to the lake house. They enter the house, and all the families are excited except for Lenny's wife and spoiled kids. They go around picking rooms, and everyone decides to give Lenny the master bedroom for renting the place out. His wife is already in motion but stops her, and he decides to let the kids share the master bedroom so that they can make memories. Kurt's mother-in-law exclaims she needs a room with good heat, even though it's 95 degrees inside. She shows them her ailing foot, trying to prove her point, and the friends end the tour. The friends are lounging, taking in the view when Lenny complains that the kids are missing out. He drags out his kids and bans video games during the trips, and the other dads follow his lead. They head towards the lake and find a rope swing. Eric gets excited and decides to show off. He swings out but is too scared to let go, and he crashes into a tree rolling downhill. The kids are impressed and cheer until Lenny's daughter points to a bird that's been crushed by Eric. The group goes to a restaurant from their childhood. Marcus asks if the friends remember getting wasted and eating there, prompting the kids to ask what being wasted is. Lenny explains that being wasted means to be full off of ice cream, and it backfires, making all the kids scream they want to be wasted. Lenny heads to the bathroom and runs into his old rival Dickie working in the kitchen. When Lenny took the game-winning shot during the championship game, Dickie believes that the referee should have called him out of bounds, but because he didn't, Lenny and his friends stole his victory. Lenny tries to be nice, but Dickie insults him and asks for a rematch over the PA system, but Lenny rejects. The friends talk about the ceremony of spreading the coach's ashes, but Lenny tells them he's got to go to Italy the next morning. The friends try to convince him, but he tells them it's important to his wife's job that they go. He says a little too much and makes it sound like it's her fault, making her upset. He tries to talk to her, but she doesn't want to look like a workaholic and decides to let the family stay for the weekend. Rob takes over breakfast, but instead of cooking normal food, he cooks some dehydrated vegan stuff. Lenny refuses to eat it, and Rob's wife hands him some bacon. Rob refuses to let him cook it inside, and Lenny gets creative. He goes outside and uses the moth catcher. He sees his son pick up a rock, and Lenny hopes he does something with it like a normal child, like skim it across the lake or just throw it, but he's disappointed when he just drops the rock. His other son is dressed for a fashion show and yells at Lenny in front of Eric. Lenny asks Eric what would have happened if they said that when they were young, and he replies that they would have gotten a smack in the head. Kurt comes over and he and Eric eat the bacon. Eric asks him if he cleaned the moth catcher while pulling out a dead moth from his mouth. The friends row out to an island. They stop midway so that Eric can take a bathroom break. He takes too long, and another boat full of girls passes them, disgusted at Eric and his manhood. When they reach the island, Rob takes the lead. He spreads the ashes and says a few words before shedding tears. Instead of being sad about the coach's passing, he criticizes himself about his past failed marriages. The friends try to cheer him up and tell him he has lots of time to make it up to his abandoned daughters. Rob tells him he's going to start now since his daughters will be joining them in the lake house. When they make it back to the lake house, a pretty girl pulls up in a broken down car. They all stop and stare, wondering who invited her when Rob walks up and hugs his daughter. They question the science behind genetics and agree that everything must be 99% from the mother's side. They all grab a seat and watch her fix her car. Lenny points out they can't all stare and decide to take turns. Rob's wife comes out to help and the friends turn their chairs around in disgust. The guys fish and chat when Rob comes back from talking to his daughter. They make fun of him for being gone 20 years of his daughter's life and decide to cheer him up by playing arrow roulette. Whoever stays in the circle the longest while the arrow is in the air wins. Lenny shoots, and after a couple of seconds, everybody runs away except Rob. Rob declares his victory when the arrow comes down and sticks into his foot. The friends carry and set him down on a chair. The wives come out hearing the commotion and run over to them after seeing the arrow in his foot. Rob's other daughter runs over to them as well. She's as pretty as the other one, and the guys question the science of genetics again, until Rob's third daughter shows up looking more like Rob. Lenny's wife is on the phone and stressed about her fashion show. Her daughter runs over excited about meeting the tooth fairy since her tooth fell out. She snaps and tells her that she will put $1 under the pillow later and ruins her daughter's fantasy. She tells Lenny that she ruined their daughter's childhood, and Lenny tells her it's not a big deal. She blames herself and hides herself under the covers. Lenny hears the kids making a ruckus and heads to their room, thinking they're on their phones. He is overjoyed to see his kids being kids and playing with paper phones hooked up with string. He joins them and tells them to install phone cups in the adult bedrooms as well. Lenny's wife uses the cup phone to make up a scenario of why she puts money under the pillow instead of the tooth fairy and apologizes. As Lenny's wife packs the car, she sees a magical moment of her kids skimming rocks on the lake and she joins them. She grabs a rock but throws it straight into her son's stomach. Lenny comes down with his luggage, and everybody is sad to see his family leave. His wife barges in the room in disbelief that she can't skim a rock anymore and makes the executive decision to stay a couple more nights to fix her problem. Everybody is happy, and they decide to go to a water park to celebrate. The moms stay back and lounge while the rest of the group head to the water slide. Eric takes them up a secret access to the top of the slide so that they can cut the line. The moms get eyed by a shredded, good-looking lifeguard, and he makes his way to them, but when he flirts with them, he has a high-pitched voice and they laugh at him. While everybody has a fun time at the water park, the dads all chill in the kiddie pool. All of a sudden, the water becomes a dark blue around them, showing that they're all peeing in it. On the 4th of July, the friends are playing some chutes and ladders outside. Marcus comes out and tells him of a crazy dream. He was sleeping with a girl and a picture fell on her head and left a scar. While he finishes up his story, Rob's daughter yells out that she couldn't sleep because of Marcus's snoring, and everybody thinks the same thing. Rob gets up and starts chasing him, trying to kill him. When he catches him, he kicks him in the family jewels with his bad foot. His other daughter comes up and says that she heard his snoring as well, and he kicks him again. But when his third daughter confirms the same snoring sounds, he realizes that he was just loud and didn't actually sleep with his daughters. The wives come up too after hearing the commotion, and Lenny's wife starts yelling at him. She called the agent to cancel their flight to Milan, only to be told that Lenny canceled it before they even got to the lake house. She feels betrayed, and he tells her honestly that he never planned to go to Milan because he wanted the kids to be normalized and get rid of their spoiled habits. She forgives him, and everybody gets ready for the last day. On their last day, they head to a gathering at the park. The friends are approached by Dickie and his team and challenged to a rematch again. This time Lenny accepts, and the people all get ready to watch the rematch. They put on their uniforms and their wives put on cheerleading outfits. They start the game off strong, showing that their chemistry never faded. The game is close, and then their age starts to show. Eric and the other team's big man decide to fake injuries and give up so that they won't pass out. Other out-of-shape fathers decide to call it quits as well. To determine the victor, Lenny decides to do a 2-on-2 with their sons. Lenny, Dickie, and their sons go strong and tie the game 19-19, with Lenny able to take the game-winning shot. He takes in the moment. He realizes he had his glory, and playing with his son was all that mattered. He takes the shot, usually a 100% from that angle, but he misses it on purpose. The crowd roars as Dickie makes the winning bucket. Lenny's son apologizes and promises to work hard, proving that Lenny made the right decision. They hug, and everyone heads over to watch the fireworks.